So the Patriots picking 14th overall, that's real estate that they're not really accustomed to. They were 15th a couple of years ago when they got Mac Jones. They have 3 picks in round 4, 4 picks in round 6, 11 total picks, tied for third in the NFL. What is their number one? Can't leave the draft without addressing this position need.
Yeah, it's the first time in a while you can kind of look at them and go, there's a few things on their roster that they certainly can improve. I think you could look at safety right off the bat and go, that's a position that I would expect them to address some point during the draft, right? That'd be one. All right. I think the other one would be stand-up like linebacker, Mike. That's another one. You'd look at, their middle linebackers, the guy there, they got some kind of old school thumper, mid-'80s Giants type middle linebackers, but maybe not necessarily the type of guys that, you need to run and cover the Dalvin Cooks of the world, the pass catching backs that way. And then I think you can also look at offensive linemen. Isaiah Wynn gone, right? Trent Brown last year of his contract. So I think if you had to maybe boil it down, I'd go they got to leave the draft with a tackle. But damn, they're a team that's got a few needs throughout their roster.
Yeah, I feel like secondary defensive back.
Yeah,
McCourty's are long gone now,
right.
And yeah, they move on from Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, just draft and develop. And remember, that's the other side of the coin for the Patriots, because receiver is always, it feels like a perpetual need, but it also feels like whatever they try to do in the draft just typically doesn't work
for whatever reason.
Work.
I know.
And I still think they get into OTAs, and you got a rookie out there who doesn't know what he's doing, and Bill Belichick gets impatient and tells him, get the hell off the field, get somebody out here that knows our bleepity bleep 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 offense, and so the rookie never gets a chance to develop the way he needs to. Again, I don't know that, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case.
Yeah.
They're not developing the receivers that they draft the way they need to. So, yeah, that would be great if they could bring in a receiver that can help make a difference in this new offense, but you got to develop the guy.
No, I'm with you. You're right.
At some point over a quarter century of struggles to develop receivers, other than like a 7th-round guy who hung around on special teams and became Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't develop receivers there.
They've been better at developing those type of guys than, maybe the guys that are supposed to be the stars or the top-end guys. Edelman's, the Wes Welkers, the Troy Browns of the world, all that kind of guy they've been good with. But you're right, they've never been able to pinpoint that star, kind of other than just like, hey, we'll get Randy Moss in free agency. We know he's good, and that'll work. And that worked out pretty damn good there for a short period of time. But it's interesting with them, Mike. You can look at it. DB, like you said, safety, no McCourty, corner, we know they love their corners, but they got some young, like maybe not household names that are kind of damn good. The Jack Jones. We know Jonathan Jones they re-signed him. Marcus Jones, the punt returner nickelback who's damn good in coverage. Jalen Mills is back. So I do wonder, if DB, to your point, becomes a priority to where maybe, like I would think one of these top tier ones that's not Devin Witherspoon from Illinois will be on the board at 14. I would think that. I like the Patriots' ability to rush the passer. Uche is a budding superstar, and I would be shocked if he's not in the conversation for one of the best pass rushers in football with Judon on the outside there, right? But, they need a Tyquan Thornton, a receiver, to come through this year. But I think ultimately I look at that O-line on offense and then that DB middle linebacker thing to be the other thing they look at on defense, Mike.
The moment it became clear to me that they were not going to pursue Lamar Jackson came when Robert Kraft 3 weeks ago today, meeting with reporters, went on and on about the importance of the draft and draft picks and how critical those young, inexpensive players are to the development of your team. You bring them in young, you bring them in cheap, they become key players. You pick which ones are going to stay. Not all of them can stay, but the more of the draft picks that you can hit on and have them become starters and key contributors, that's how you keep your program going. And that's the other side of the Lamar Jackson question.
Yeah.
Look at what the Browns did last year, everything they gave up to get him. You give up those picks, you are robbing yourself of not a full generation of talent, but you give up multiple first-round picks and then some. I mean, you're gutting that movement of youth that 3-4 years from now should be the core of your team.
That's
and
right.
Won't be.
Right. And it's a team that, needs some more pieces to the core of their football team. And also, you got to think of, like, with the situation as it applies to the Patriots, of, like, making that move, and it's a guy like, Bill Belichick, and, okay, he might be gone after a year or two and retire and say, see you later. Now you're going to leave that next head coach with, hey, we got nothing for you to develop and no assets. Here's the team. Like, good luck. So I never thought that was really in the vision of the New England Patriots. And ultimately, again, with Lamar Jackson, I think it's going to be Baltimore or bust when all's said and done.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.